NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, is an agreement between Mexico, Canada, and the United States. In 1992, President George H.W. Bush, Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, and Mexican President Salinas approved NAFTA. By the time it passed through all the houses, President Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, making it a law. It was created with the idea it could be a model agreement which all future trade agreements could build off of. While creating it, there were high expectations for how it could turn out, and they saw many benefits that could evolve from it. It was designed to eliminate almost all tariffs on goods and to increase trades among these countries. It wanted to create jobs and help to lower the prices of everyday goods. They thought it would help the economics of the countries included and create fair competition and investment opportunities. These dreams and desires were short-lived, and the reality of the decision started to sink in. It greatly affected our economy and millions of people all over the country. Major supporters of the North American Free Trade Agreement were large corporations who knew they could benefit from it. Companies took advantage of the agreement to try to save money no matter what the effects were to the people. They wanted to find any loophole available. Exporting jobs to Mexico was a huge move many companies took when this agreement was set, because its labor was cheaper. They knew they didn't have to follow as many rules and could get away with riskier things, increasing their margin of profit. Mexico does not have as many labor laws as the United States does, so the companies can pay the workers less and make them work more hours without ramifications. Many factories closed nationwide, and the closed factories were not replaced by new ones. It became more and more difficult to find jobs in the USA, and who was lucky to find a new job often was hired at a lower salary. It was recorded that over 500,000 people lost their jobs due to the North American Free Trade Agreement all over the country. When the companies moved to Mexico, they did not think of the problems they would cause in the US. Greed got the best of people. This decision has made the number of Made in America products lower, and we are more dependent than ever on imports, and the few things that we still manufacture are being brought out of the country. This is not good for our exports because what are we to trade other countries with? The quality of products also has gone down because the companies do not have to follow as many rules anymore. They are using cheaper, lower quality things to make their products, and even though the quality of the products have gone down, the price has remained the same, only benefiting the manufacturers. With outsourcing of jobs came exploitation of workers, especially in Mexico. 6 years into NAFTA, border workers experienced a large drop in their standard of living and problems in their labor rights. Child labor is still a huge issue and growing. Companies knew they could get away with these things because of the lack of labor unions and workers' rights. Everything that the agreement was supposed to help would seem to suffer the opposite fate. There wasn't an improvement in work conditions, security, or salaries. The corporations and companies were only thinking about monetary gain and how they could increase their profits, taking advantage of the new trade laws. The North America Free Trade Agreement changed our relationship with Canada and Mexico and how we now trade. But in the end, having to do with employment and workers' rights, NAFTA did not accomplish what it set out to do. It negatively affected our economy and ruined many people's lives. This agreement was a turning point because when the companies outsourced, people could no longer look to America for factory jobs. America used to have all sorts of factories, and people who necessarily did not have the best education could still get a job. When companies started leaving, that left those people jobless, and most of them did not have enough education to find other work.